everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today I decided to do what I like to believe is the opposite of the last build that I did. So that was a maximalist apartment. Today we are building a minimalist. Is that how you say that? Minimalist? Yeah, okay. Minimalist tiny house. And I want to like I'm not into maximalism. I have a hard time with minimalism as well because it's just too little. There's a fine. There has to be like a balance for me basically. But that's what we're doing today. That's what we're building today. Before I get started talking about the build though, I do want to quickly remind you guys that I am running a giveaway currently. So all you gotta do to join the giveaway is scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment. Click on the link to download Disney Emoji Blitz, then hit level 20 in the game, take a screenshot of yourself hitting level 20, and then send it to me in a DM on either Instagram or Twitter. You can find my socials linked through the link tree, by the way. And if you're already level 20, you can still join the giveaway. All you gotta do then is take a before and after screenshot of yourself gaining 5 levels. So say you're level 20, you take a screenshot, get to level 25, take another screenshot, and then send me both of the screenshots also on Instagram or Twitter in a DM. Yes. The giveaway is both worldwide and includes console players as well, so literally all of you can join if you want to. I highly recommend it, and because it's super easy. And who doesn't want free packs? I mean, The Sims 4 is kind of known to be a little bit pricey, so... But yeah, that's basically all. Should be pretty easy. I wish you all the best of luck. Oh, and a little note, I don't open all DMs, so how Twitter and Instagram works when you got DMs closed, they're not actually closed. You can still send DMs. It's just that it won't say that I've seen it or received it unless I actually like fully accept the DM request. So I'll do that with the winners like I've done the previous giveaways, but I've gotten a couple of questions about it. People being a little bit worried that I haven't gotten their admission, is that how you say that? Their entry, let's put it like that. So don't worry about it. If you send it to me, I have received it. I just won't open it unless you actually win, if that makes sense. So it won't say that I've seen it, but I have seen it, just so you know, because I keep getting questions about it every single time, and I just feel like I just want to explain it to you that it's just Twitter and Instagram work like that when you got DMs closed, so don't worry about it. But anyway, today we are building this house. It was kind of inspired by 2 houses that I put together. I have built something like this in the past, I think, although not with this amount of platformage, if you will. So I decided to actually build this on the tallest wall height because I really wanted, this was inspired, like the platforms at the front of the house was inspired by one of the pictures. Of course, I couldn't do it exactly like it was in the picture. It was quite nicely done, to be honest, but it just wasn't possible in The Sims. So I did the best that I could, and with what I got in the game, so with what the developers gave me at least, anyway. So this is kind of what I came up with, and then in the end, to kind of make up for the fact that the house is so simple, because there's not really much to it. It's a box with a box within it. And yes, there is a fully functional house inside this little box. It's actually not the smallest house that I've done. I should probably finish a sentence before I start the next one. Anyway, I was about to completely interrupt myself there. But anyway, I don't think it's the smallest house that I've done, because this is like, what is it? It's 32, so it's actually a micro home. I'm pretty sure that I've done, like, it's 16 plus 16, it's what's it called, 8 by 4. So it's not actually the smallest house that I've done. I will say with the platforms outside, I'm not sure that it actually counts as a tiny house in the game. I don't really, ever since we got platforms, I don't really follow the tile counter, to be honest. You guys have probably noticed by now, but also I never get comments about it anyway. So I just kind of built for the aesthetics, if you will. Although I do want my houses to be fully functional, so... Also, I got a comment about this. See, I always playtest when I do this little thing with the shelf right there, turn it into either like a dining table, or in this case, it's more like a study nook, if you will. I placed the laptop over there, so it's kind of like a little, yeah, study nook, I think is pretty fitting. but I got a comment on a build recently where I used the same trick, and for some reason it wasn't working for them when they downloaded the game. I always playtest it, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. Like, I religiously playtest this little thing with the, because I just want to make sure that it works. And it does for me, so I'm not sure why it doesn't for some of you. All I can say is remember to activate move objects on before you place down any of my builds, because I literally do not ever follow follow the grid, if you will, just so you know. But other than that, I don't really know. Some things just work in my game and sometimes they just don't work in others. It's very strange that it's like that, but that one kind of annoyed me a little bit because I know for a fact that I play test it every single time. So that one really annoys me. Not that it wasn't working for, like, not that they told me that it wasn't working for them, but the fact that it wasn't working for them, if that makes sense. Also, I want to say that as per the color scheme, yes, I'm changing it now because I actually felt like the contrasts were a little bit too much throughout the interior. It didn't feel minimalistic enough. So how did I just say that? I don't know what just happened. Minimalist enough. It didn't feel simple enough. Simple, clean enough? I don't know. Anyway, it felt a little bit too contrasty with the black in there, so I decided to change it to this very, very popular minimalist color scheme, which is basically white, light gray, and beige, but it just kind of works with this sort of interior. You could also do like other darker color schemes if you want, but when it's a tiny house, I also think something like a lighter color scheme is better, just to make the room, the room, it's basically built in one room, just to make it seem a little bit airier, if you will, a little bit more spacious and open. I know a lot of people like to put in a lot of windows or mirrors to make some spaces feel bigger. I will say that I kind of didn't really want to add a lot of windows, and then it hit me that I just didn't like that there was only one window towards the end. So I did end up placing down 2 windows, actually. So what you're seeing right now, if you're wondering why there are no windows, don't worry, I'm placing them down later. I just wasn't really feeling like it, to be honest, until it hit me that, no, this is not going to work for me. This feels a little bit claustrophobic. You can't really see out. You can't see out unless you're lying on the bed, so I need to place down some windows. So I actually ended up placing down, you can see it at the very end of the video, but I ended up placing down a window right in front of, or right above the empty counter, and you can literally see right into or onto the house in the background, so I called it the stalker window because it's a super tiny window, and it's basically just, it frames up the neighboring lot perfectly. You'll see what I mean later on. Maybe. I don't actually remember if I included that. I might not have, but you can see it in the screenshots then. And also, no, there is no sink in the kitchen. Every time I choose not to put a sink down in either the bathroom, it's mostly the bathroom. I will say I don't think I've ever not included a sink in the kitchen before, but there's a first for everything, I suppose. But whenever I don't do that, whenever I don't place down a sink in the bathroom, I always get at least one comment about it. It's just that to save space, sometimes, like, the kitchen and the bathroom are right next to each other. So to me, it feels smart. I don't know, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but it just makes sense. Like, logically, it just makes sense to spare a tile, save a tile for something else, and just omit one of the sinks, basically. So I decided not to include one in the kitchen this time, but there is one in the bathroom that your Sims can use. And if it bothers, you can still place down a dishwasher and you're still good. So at least with the dishes, your Sims dishes. So yeah. As for the landscaping, I wanted it to be very, very bushy. I wanted it to be very voluminous. I wanted there to be a lot going on, just as a contrast to this otherwise very simple build. Again, just a box with a box. It just it wasn't enough for me. I needed there to be a little bit of something else. So I framed up this platform staircase and basically just went ham with a lot of different plants. I like how it looks. I know that some people will probably will probably think it's a little bit unrealistic, but to me it just kind of works. I don't know. I like busy landscaping sometimes. Sometimes I like to tone it down a little bit, but I actually usually when I do these more contemporary houses, I do tend to tone down the landscaping a little bit, but for this one, also because we're building on the island in Windenburg, it just felt correct to basically go a little crazy with the plants. So if you're wondering about the platform over here on the right side, because I also don't think that it's included or that I included that in the thumbnail, but I'm gonna place down a pool because this house just screams like, we have a pool. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the owners of this house definitely have a pool, even though there's literally an ocean that you can see from the house. I don't know, go bathe in the ocean, save the money. But they just feel like pool people to me. So I decided to place down a pool for them. Although I feel like sometimes it's difficult to kind of connect the pool when it's on its own platform next to the house, or in this case it's a foundation, not a platform, because you can't place pools on platforms. But I really tried to make it work. I also used some of the same kind of landscaping over here to tie it together. I used some of the rugs that looks like a stone path that are from Get Together, and I also placed down a bar that doesn't work from the pool itself, at least not as far as I'm aware, unless maybe if you hire a mixologist, but I didn't test that. I don't really know. It would be cool if that worked though, wouldn't it? So like your sim could still hang out in the pool and then, I don't know, like swim to the bar, get a drink or something. Don't swim and drink, by the way. Anyway, full disclaimer, don't do that. But I thought it looked cool, so I decided to include it. And other than that, we are doing a little bit more landscaping with the trees. I like to frame up my houses with trees. I think it looks super nice. I also made a few, oh, that's a stalker window, by the way. But I made a few adjustments to the back of the build there just to give it a little bit more play, if you will, or something. And then I also added this outdoors grill area. So they do have a few counters out here with a sink, by the way, just to point out, and also a dining table. Although there is also a dining table inside, which is pretty big for the small house, but I don't know, it just felt right to put it there in the corner. So anyway, but we are at the end of the video in a little bit, so I'm gonna wrap up this voiceover now. If you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the tray files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. So just scroll down where the build info is, and it's somewhere in that area. Again, if you want to join the giveaway, scroll back to the start of the video and follow the instructions. I wish you all the best of luck. If you like books, definitely check out my booktube channel. You can find that through the link tree. And that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
I can't believe someone like me is here with somebody